Hello. Hello, welcome to the second Monday class, strength class. Just to remind you, there's no class next Monday. So yes, just remember, no class next Monday. Right, a few things first. How did you get on last week? Hi, Mo. How did you get on last week? I'm going to actually put this here and talk to you so that I don't have to bend down all the time. Yes, so how was it last night? Well, I got some reports that some people's abs were a bit sore after the plank. Some people can't manage the whole plank, the whole 30 seconds. The point of this exercise class is if you can do the exercises easily, there's no point in doing the class. Some will be easier than others because some muscles will naturally be stronger than others. If you're finding an exercise particularly difficult, just because, when I say difficult, I don't mean difficult because you can't kneel or difficult because you've got an injury or an impairment somehow. I mean difficult because your muscles aren't used to doing that exercise. It's really important that you keep doing it. If you can do the exercise, like take the plank. Some people find the plank really difficult. Some people can hardly get their body plank-like. Their bum sticks up or they can't get off the floor. Don't give up. It's important to keep trying because even if you only do it for a second, you've done it. And then next week or next time, there is no class next week. Of course, you're going to use this class next week and pretend it's live. Hello, welcome to Monday the 5th. So then the next time you do it, 2 seconds, and that's absolutely fine. It's something to build up to. So 30 seconds for the planks is quite a lot, particularly the side plank. The side planks, I think, are more difficult than the front plank. I can do the front plank for over a minute, said she. But the side planks, I'm really glad when the 30 seconds is up. Use the adaptations so that it's slightly easier if you want. Don't try and go full hardcore. When we do the squat, I should have said last week, if you can't do a free squat, use the chair. Just stand up and then down from the chair. You can, because your weight's in your heels when you squat, there's a tendency you might fall backwards. I'm going to show the squat now so I don't have to show it when we're doing it. So because your weight should be in your heels and you're sticking your bum out, you can't see there, but look, when I'm doing this, I can actually take my toes off the ground. That's why I keep falling backwards, but I can take my toes off the ground. If you're a bit worried about falling backwards, have the chair behind you. So you do that, and then you know the chair is there. You could just touch your bum on the chair, and then up you get again. So use the chair. Don't feel that you have to do everything. Don't feel that you have to do everything freestanding. You can adapt it because the object of the class is to get stronger, not to think, oh, this is too hard, I give up. So do what you can. I've done several of them each day. Press-ups hardest. Press-ups, I find the press-ups terrible. Elizabeth, yeah, I find them really hard. Particularly the way we're doing them, because we're doing triceps press-ups, because there's press-ups you can do where your arms are out like that, and I can do those not too bad, but they put quite a strain on your shoulders. And the way we're doing them, so your hands are under your shoulders and we're doing press-ups that way, and it's this, I find them really hard. I mean, it takes me all my time to do 10, I have to say. I've only recently started doing them as a triceps press-up. But yes, they are hard. Can't join you live, do the session later. Okay, Maggie. Yes, so the Superman that we did last week, I'm changing slightly. That was the one where we lay like that and lifted the arm. I'm going to change that slightly because that was a bit messy last week. The sitting abs, yes, I'll do that. How did you find the lunge? I find lunges very beneficial, but quite difficult. I haven't done lunges for quite a long time, actually. And I only really started doing them again when I was doing this class. And I thought, oh, lunges, I can do lunges. And I thought, oh, that's quite difficult. again, do what you can. And if you're doing lunges, when you're going to make yourself a cup of tea, do a lunge walk into the kitchen. Your family may give you funny looks. I live on my own, so it doesn't really matter. But it's important to sort of keep practicing these things. So really what I'm saying is, if you are finding some of the exercises very difficult, as I always say, that's a sign that you should do them more, not less. Right, it's 11 o'clock. And as you know, I'm trying to get this sort of shorter and sharper than the Wednesday class. Just let me check and see if there's anything. No, lunge is the last one. So there's the warm-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the warm-up. There are 8 exercises. And then there's the stretching at the end. Okay, so last week we came in at about 35 minutes, I think. So we'll see what we can do this week. I'll have to keep moving the camera because sometimes I'm on the floor. What I do is I start off standing and then we do the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exercises on the floor. And then the last one is the lunge, standing up, so that you're not constantly getting up and down off the floor, because I know some of you have some difficulty getting up off the floor. But again, that's practice. Practice watching the telly, sitting on the floor. Right, so we're going to start. I hope you've got your mat. Some of you realised that you needed a mat last week, particularly if you've got parquet flooring. I am just going to put this down a little bit. So we're going to start, and we're going to start very gently, just walking on the spot, using your shoulders in a slightly exaggerated way. Remember, toes, on your toes if you can. And we're going to do this slightly faster than we do when we're doing the Wednesday class. It's important that you do the Wednesday class as well, because this class is strength and the Wednesday class is functional fitness. So this is specifically targeting your muscles, whereas the Wednesday class targets coordination, flexibility, balance, all that sort of stuff, which is what you need for your day-to-day living. So the two classes are complementary. It's not one or the other, said she, desperately trying to get more people in. So I'm going to do this, and then what we're going to do is, you know, that sort of little dance routine thing that we do. I'm going to do that because I can't think of a better way of warming up than that, quite frankly. What we're going to do, though, is we're just going to just open your leg like that. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out, out. So you see footballers. You can use the chair if you want to balance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out, and then out. A bit more difficult with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out, out. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just loosens up your hips. Out, that, out. I'm not sure if there's a contraindication for that if you've had hip replacement, so maybe take advice on that from a physiotherapist. Right, so we're going to start doing heel digs, and at the same time we're going to anchor our elbows, and we're going to do a bicep curl with the opposite leg, with the opposite arm even. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I obviously don't know the difference between a leg and an arm. Trained professional me. Right, we're going to do 3, 2, 1, cease, and then we're going to go out to the side, prayer hands, pushing out. What, 3, 2, 1. And then step back and your arms forward at the same time. Try not to let your knee fall in when you're doing this, like that. put your hands right out as well, straight out like that. 3, 2, 1. Last one is a toe tap and a swing of the arm. Right. Okay, we're going to put it all together because it's good for your coordination. So, notice I'm not calling it out this time. If you're floundering, never mind, as long as you're moving. If you've lost the rhythm of it, just do your own thing if you want. Last time. Just before we start, we're going to do knees just a bit higher. Like this. If you can get them parallel, try not to lean forward as you're doing it. Try to stay upright. So I want it's your knees just to move. On your toes if you can. Get a bit of a rhythm going. Right. 3, 2, 1. Right, because I talked about the squat before, we're going to start with 10 squats. Right. Let me get my mat out the way a minute. 10 squats. In fact, I don't think I'm going to use my mat. It's because I've got a restricted space. It's easier if I can just move around on the carpet. Right, 10 squats. So, you know how to do them. Knees don't go over your toes. At the top, just come forward and just touch your hands. We're going to do them nice and slowly because that makes it more difficult. And I like to make things more difficult for you. So, down we go as far as you want to go. 1, I'd rather that you kept the technique. Good technique is important. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're using the chair, try and do it slowly as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go down a little bit again, not too far, and then pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Show you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stand up. Oh, my thighs are going. Oh, Rosemary, what are you doing? Right. I don't need the chair for the time being. I'm going to put this down a little bit because I'm going to be on the floor from now on. So if you can, get on the floor. I'm just going to, well, you need to get on the floor. So what are we doing first? Oh, the plank. So we're going to do the plank for 30 seconds. So you remember, lie on your tummy, and you see me, yes. And your hands are like this, like the Sphinx. And the object of the exercise is to get yourself up off the floor, and your body is like a plank. I'm moving my head, but your head should be in alignment with your neck. Okay, if you dig your toes in, I always wear shoes when I'm doing this because I find it easier to get up. If you can only get up for a few seconds, that's fine. Try not to let your back sag in the middle. It's just getting up like that. Okay, right. Just let me get my stopwatch on because we don't want to do it for any longer than we have to. If you're good at the plank, you can be doing it while I'm talking. So, ready, set, up you go. I don't like to look at the stopwatch because 30 seconds is a long time when you're actually looking at your stopwatch. So, your bum's not like that, and it's not right down like that. You're just flat, like a plank. We've got 10 more seconds. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. How was that? Right. Now we're going to do the side plank. Remember, your elbow has to be under your shoulder. If it's not, you risk injuring yourself and it'll be quite difficult. Legs straight out, or the lower leg like that. Lower leg sideways like that if you want. That makes it easier, okay? If you can do it both legs out, absolutely fine. Ready? So up we go. I'm starting the clock now. You can do what you like with this hand. It doesn't really matter. These are the muscles that are working, the ones under here. If you can, have a press of them. You'll find they're rock solid. If you can do it for 30 seconds, it's really good. I got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. And then swish around and do the other side. Remember, elbow under your shoulder. Right, ready? Up we go and start it. So your whole body should be like a plank. You should have quite a lot of space under here. Your whole body is straight. Your head is in line with your spine. It's not going there or forward. It's just in alignment with your spine. 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Well done. How was that? Right, now, this next one, I'm going to lie forward like this. So can you see me? No, you can't. I'm going to come right back here so that you can see me, what I'm doing. I'm just going to quickly show you this. This is the one where we're not doing this one like we were doing last week. So this is quite a hard one. So you're lying, just watch, it'll give you a rest. Can you see? So you're lying flat on the floor with your forehead on the floor. We're just going to lift up like that, and then we're going to go to a Y, and then we're going to go to a T, and then we're going to bring our hands behind us, like, so it's like that, Y, T, and then your hand behind you, Superman, and this one you're looking forward, getting your chest as high as you can off the floor, and then back to the T, back to the Y, back to the I, and down. Does that make sense? Quite hard. I'm going to have to, I'll put the camera down a bit more because I need to do it this way. I need enough room to get my arms out. Yeah, that's okay. You can see me. Or I might do it this way. Right, okay. That's okay. You can see, I think, can't you? So, let me know if you haven't been able to see me properly on this one. So, forehead on the floor, head up, arms up into an I straight ahead of you. Bring them to a Y, then to a T. Superman. Get that chest up. Back to a T. Back to a Y. Up to an I. And down. I have to tell you, your feet stay on the floor. But try not to, well, yeah, don't, we'll come to lifting our feet off in a few weeks. 6. We're going to do this another couple of times. So lift up I, Y, T, and Superman. Superman's the easiest one. You can really get your chest off the floor. Hold it there. It's really good for your back. Well, good for your back muscles. T, Y, and then I. The I is the hardest. We're going to do it twice more. No, how many times have we done it? We've done it twice. We'll do it once more today. Right. Make this a good one. So I, get that head up, chest up. Y, T, Superman. This is the bird, this is the plane. And then back to T, back to Y, back to I. Oh, wow. Well done if you managed that. That's quite difficult. Right. The notorious press up. If you can't do this, if you can't kneel, you could lie on your tum, have your hands here. It's very difficult actually. And just press up like that. Keeping your shoulders, your hands sort of in line with your boobs. And just do that. Yeah, that works. If you can, kneel though. Kneel. Your hands are under your shoulders. So like that. And then you're not dipping like that. You're just bending your arms. 1, 2, 3. The weight is all on your arms. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is hard. That is very hard, I think. Right. Sitting on your bottom, have your hands here in front of you or out in front of you, it's up to you. And your knees are bent about 45 degrees and your heels are on the ground. No, they're not. Sorry, they're straight out in front of you. Have your hands here or up here. I really just don't want you leaning back on them. That's the main thing. And then we're going to lift one leg, one foot, bring it in. You don't help it, obviously. And then out again. Okay? We're going to do that with both legs. We're going to do it 10 times. Sitting up nice and straight, of course, not sort of slumping like I was then. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't drag your feet. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sitting up. Now, sitting back a little bit, sit with your knees at 45 degrees, heels on the ground, It's difficult to get your feet flat on the ground like this. Put your hands here if you can, or if you want, lift your feet off the ground. You can use your hands for this. Lift your feet off the ground and then put your hands out. If you're hardcore, you can straighten them, but this is fine for the time being. Just sitting here and then sit up. And then lean back a bit again. Lift your feet off the ground. Those of you that do yoga will know this. It's called the boot. But it's very good for all these muscles here. To a certain extent, this is what we're doing on Wednesdays. Sit up now. Wednesdays when we're doing the leaning back in the chair. Do it one more time. So lean back, up, lift them up, and then down. Okay, right. So now you're going to get to lie on your back. Have your feet so that have your thighs parallel. They're not together. They're not right out here. Have your feet so that your middle finger can just brush your toes. Just brush your feet. Sorry, your heels. And then we're going to just going up each vertebrae. We're just going to go vertebra. We're just going to go up onto the shoulders, keeping your knees parallel. Don't let them come in. Don't let them splay out. They should be absolutely just in the same position. They don't move. It's only your back that moves. We're just going to go right up, squeezing your glutes. Squeeze those glutes. If you can lift one leg, making sure that your pelvis doesn't move. You've got headlights on your pelvis that are pointing at the ceiling. But we'll leave that this week, actually. It's a bit advanced. And then come back down again. And then roll up. Squidge your glutes together. Imagine you've got a pound coin up there and you're trying to keep it in. Check that your knees aren't wobbling about all over the place. Everything should be static. And then down again. Sorry, my head's coming off the ground, but it shouldn't do. And then roll up. Roll up for the main attraction. My feet are quite away from my hands now, actually, so maybe just put your feet where it's comfortable. If your feet are nearer, I suppose that's better, really. I should do that. It puts a bit of a strain on your thighs, though. So if you want to have your feet further out, that's fine. Do what's good for you. Squeezing those glutes. And then down. We're going to do 2 more. So rolling up. You can poke your glutes just to make sure that they're nice and tight. Buns of steel, that's what we want. Your hands don't have to stay here. They can go there if you want. And then down. 1 more. How are we doing for time? We're doing good for time. Up. Squeeze. And then down. Okay. Just to counterbalance that a bit, sitting up nice and straight, put your hands above your head and just lean forward as far as you can. That'll just sort of straighten out your back a bit. You may be able to touch your toes, you may not. It's entirely up to you. Just get that round in your back a bit. Okay. Right, I think that's the last floor one. Yes, it is. So if you can get yourself up, and you need the chair for this, we're going to do lunges. We're going to do 10 on each side. Now, remember, a lunge, it's in 4 parts. Hold on if you need to. If you don't need to, it's good, because it's good to use your core to balance. But I'm going to hold on while I show you. So it's stepping forward. In fact, I'll do it sideways. It's stepping forward, bending, up and back. Some people, when they do a lunge, tend to do it all in one, but it's not. You need to have the 4 separate elements, I think, especially for balance, like I just fell over them. So it's forward, down, up. Oh, I'm better at them this week. Right, so 10 on each side. Put your hands on your hips if you want. Put your hands here, here, anywhere you like, the Mobot. Right, so step forward, bend, up, back. 1. Forward. Try and keep this knee pointing forward. Down. Don't let it come in. And your hips are facing forward as well. Up, back, and your back is straight. Forward. I'm going to be out the door soon. Down. Yeah, your back is straight. Up, back. That's 3. Forward, down. You don't need to go down, right down. 4. I need pennies in my pocket like an umpire. Forward. You can go down there if you want, or do the full down. And that's 5, halfway through this side. Forward, down, back. This is definitely easier than last week. 6. Forward, down, up, back. Because I've been practicing as well. Forward, down, up. 7. Forward, down, up. 8. Forward, down, up. 9. Forward, down, up. 10. Well done. Other side. Forward, down, up. 1. Forward, down, up. 2. Forward, down, up. 3. Forward, down, up. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I'm not going to do that. It upsets my counting. As you know, it's quite difficult for me to count up to 5. I think that's 5. It might be 6, but we're going to call it 5. Up, back. Do it the same speed that I'm doing it. Forward, down, up, back. Forward, down, up, back. Oh, sorry, I forgot to count. Forward, down, up. I'm calling that 9. Forward, down, up. Right, I think that's 10, isn't it? I think it's 10. Right. What I didn't do last week, no, I'm not going to do heartbeat, that's that one. Right, so that makes my that makes me puff a bit. But we're just going to do a little bit of walking on the spot, just to sort of loosen the limbs and just to raise your heartbeat a little bit. Because we're going into the stretches in a moment. We're going to do this for a minute. On my watch says 11:29, so we're going to go, it hasn't got a second hand, but we're going to go up, just do it for half a minute. Waffle, 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 Rosemary. A minute's a long time when you're doing this, isn't it? 11:30, right. Stretches. So we're going to do our calf stretches. So front leg bent, back leg straight, both Heels on the ground, leaning forward. Your back heel particularly must be on the ground. Doesn't really matter what you do with your front one. And you should feel the stretch of sort of the top of your calf. Very gently bend your back knee. Your heel will come off the ground, but the stretch should go down into your Achilles tendon. And then swap legs. Gently bend your back knee. Okay. Right, quadricep stretch. If you can, grab your foot, your shoe. Some people do the heel of their shoe. Some people do the hem of their trousers. Knees together if you can, standing up nice and straight. Hold on or not as you please. It's up to you. If you can't do that, do this, dynamic stretching. Put your hands behind you. See if you can kick your hands. Okay, whichever you're doing. I'm going to do the static stretch just for the moment. That lunge on the right foot hurts the ankle of my left for some reason. Okay, static stretchers, switch legs, dynamic stretchers, keep doing this. It's good to practice your balance, so if you can do this without holding on, then that's good. The more you tilt your pelvis, the stronger the stretch here on your thigh. Okay. Hamstrings, the big muscles on the back of your legs. Sitting at the edge of the chair. Knees at 90 degrees. Ankles under your knees, sitting up nice and straight. One foot forward, toe pulled back, sitting up nice and straight. Lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. Now, however far down you go is up to you. Stretching should be challenging but not painful. But you can do if you want. You can put your hands on the floor or on your shin. As long as you're getting the stretch in the back of your upper thigh, where your hamstrings are. And then sit up and repeat on the other side, sitting up nice and straight, leaning forward from the hips, not from the waist. Remember to keep your toe pulled back. That adds to the discomfort. I'm not really a sadist, but it helps, I suppose. Right. I'm going to do a stretch now that people have huge difficulty with. Not because the stretch is difficult, but because they have difficulty figuring out how to do it. So we're going to be sitting sideways on the chair, but at the front of the chair. Okay? So it's like this. Have the back of the chair on your left. And you're sitting right front of the chair, so you've got quite a lot behind there. Okay? I'm going to turn it round this way now. So you're at the front of the chair. This leg is here. You can have both legs there. Okay? Got quite a lot there. So what you want to do is you're holding on here. You want to squidge over this way so that one bum cheek is hanging off, and you're going to put that leg back, because what you're doing is stretching your hip flexors here. If you're sitting here, the chair gets in the way. So you need to be sitting forward this way and sideways this way. Does that make sense? So that this leg can be straight out behind you. You're sitting up straight, the leg is straight out behind you, and you're stretching here. I can't make it any plainer than that. If you're finding it difficult, You'll have to just run this backwards and forwards until you get it right. So sitting up nice and straight, show you that way, nice and straight. This leg is out behind you, as straight as it can go. And this knee is way out from the chair. Some people sort of sit there. I suppose, yeah, you can do it that way as well if you want. You can either do it that way or sitting forward. But either way, this bum cheek needs to be off the chair so you can hold on if you like. And then just turn round and then do the other one. It's really important because you've been working these hip flexors quite a bit when you've been lifting your legs up doing the boat and lifting your heels in and things. You'll find it there as well. So you need to stretch these nicely. One of the reasons that people, have you noticed that older people, I've really been noticing this because I really don't want to do this. I'll show you. You can stop stretching for the moment. But I've noticed when people are walking or when they're running, older people, they take tiny little steps like that. And that's because the hip flexors are too tight. They can't do the walking like we do it. So it's really important to stretch those hip flexors, be able to stretch out. That's where lunge walking is actually quite good. So you do a walk, whoo, like that. Ministry of silly walks. Okay. Standing up, hands at your shoulder height, arms out at shoulder height, palms facing forwards, round the tree that way, rather than that way, and dip your head. And then interlink your hands behind your back. If you can't, try and get your elbows together. If you're interlinking your hands, lift your arms a bit so that you're getting that stretch across your chest. And then finally, last one, hand up, palm back, drop your hand behind your back like that. If you've got mobility or shoulder problems, you might not want to do this. I'm going to come forward a bit and then kneel down so as you can see. So push that, you're pushing this bit back. So as you're stretching here, if you're pushing it in like that, you're not getting the stretch. Do it until you feel the stretch, because these are the muscles, the triceps, you've been working those when you do the press up. Hard press up. We'll get there though. And then the other one. My goal is to do 10 triceps press ups, proper ones, like you go in a plank and you use your arms. It's important to have your arms, strong arms. Sometimes when I'm in the bath, I do like a bath. When it's time for me to get out, I use my arms and then get my feet under me. Make sure you don't slip. But I do that deliberately to try and strengthen my arms. Anyway, that's the end of today's class. If you've enjoyed it, I've put the link up for Buy Me a Coffee. There's no obligation, but I'd be eternally grateful. Thanks, Elizabeth. I'm glad you enjoyed it. How were the press-ups? Yes, so this week it is Buy Me a Coffee. If you feel that it's worth it, the class is worth it, I'd be very grateful. The link is on the comments under the video. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was. Yes, no class next week. Remember, no class next week. There's a class on the Wednesday, but not on the Monday, because I'll tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody. It's my 70th birthday. So there you go. And much as I love you, I don't really want to spend my 70th birthday doing this particularly. I want to go out walking with the dog. So see you in 2 weeks' time. So that'll be the 12th. But I'll see you this Wednesday as well, of course. Bye.